everybody, and welcome to Week 10 of Pinto's Preview right here on KFGO.com. This week, NDSU's opponent, South Dakota State University Jackrabbits. The battle for the Dakota marker. Kickoff 2:37 at the Fargo Dome. Not only is the Dakota marker on the line, but a chance to clinch at least a share of the Missouri Valley Football Conference title between these two opponents. Now, let's look back a little bit at last week. NDSU traveled down to Missouri State. I completely overthought that game. Figured NDSU would go down and just dominate. What I should have done is realize Missouri State has always played NDSU tough no matter where the game is at. Missouri State did it yet again. 3 interceptions thrown by Brock Jensen, 1 return for a touchdown. NDSU eked out a win, and good teams will do that. So NDSU continuing on the path towards what their ultimate goal needs to be, which is a national championship. But now let's get into the 3 points for the South Dakota State University Jackrabbits game. Before I get into the points, I want to let you in on a little secret. I've brought a little bit of a tablet, have some stats on here I'm going to read off for you as we get into these points as we go along. So, I'll start out here. First point, NDSU has to run the ball effectively. NDSU is going to run the ball no matter what. They want Brock Jensen to throw occasionally, 20 times, 25 times tops. They're not going to have him throw 30 times a game. The way that they do that is they run the ball effectively. Run it with some determination and some success. You think about last week, throwing those 3 interceptions, and in fact we'll add the NDS State game to that too. They ran for an average of 3.2 yards per carry. In all the other games so far this year, they've ran for 4.6 yards per carry. Now I know that doesn't sound like a big difference, but when you think about it, on third down, it really does make a huge difference because you're looking at maybe a 3rd and 1 instead of a 3rd and 4 or a 3rd and 5. So NDSU's offense gets dictated by the way they run the ball, and that's what they're going to have to do to make sure and keep Brock Jensen safe. It's not going to be easy though. They're going up against the 3rd best rushing defense in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Second point I want to make, NDSU needs to stop sophomore running back Zach Zenner. Now, Zenner has been running the ball extremely well this whole season. In fact, he's the leading rusher in the FCS at 166 yards per game. But if we break those numbers down, we find a little bit of evidence that he is slowing down. In the first 7 games so far this year, ran for 194 yards, averaged 24 yards per carry in those games. In the last 2, 68 yards per game on 17 carries. A couple of reasons why. Youngstown State and Southern Illinois are the 2nd and 4th best rushing defenses in the conference. Also, Austin Summer has really played very well as the season has gone on and did a great job in those last 2 games. Both wins, by the way, for SDSU. NDSU comes in with the best rushing defense in the country. There's nobody that's even close. They're giving up 63.7 yards per game on the ground and only 2 touchdowns so far this year. So NDSU, they're going to key on Zenner, make sure they stop him, and make South Dakota State beat him with the pass. South Dakota State goes to that, you're throwing against the best pass defense in the league too. So it's kind of a pick your poison if you're the Jackrabbits, and NDSU needs to key on Zenner and stop him from running all over them. Point 3 I want to make is how well NDSU does against very good opponents on their schedule. Now, I looked at the schedule, and the 3 opponents I came up with that would be the toughest, or the ones that NDSU has looked forward to: Colorado State, the FBS school, and then ranked opponents in Northern Iowa and Youngstown State. You look at what they've done against these 3 teams, NDSU has held the ball a majority of the game. In fact, they held the ball for almost 40 minutes against Colorado State. And those 3 games combined for 1 turnover. That's it. And you think of the Youngstown State game, they converted on 3rd down 11 out of 15 times. Those 3 things alone win you games, no matter who the opponent is. But you see here, it's clear on paper that NDSU really geared up and they were on their A game for these tough opponents. Now South Dakota State, a tough opponent, a rival that comes into the Dome, a place where they don't play well. They don't play well in Fargo at all. And now they have to play a team that gets keyed up for games like this. So, taking the advice from a friend I talked to earlier in the week, I say this is one of the things you have to look for NDSU to do and play well against a very good opponent. And now for my prediction. This entire season, I have been way off with my predictions. So, throw them out. I wouldn't even be surprised if everybody just stopped watching after this point. Because my predictions have been really bad. Good team coming to Fargo on Saturday. This game, on paper, should be close. I'm going to call it not close. I'm going to say it's a 31-10 victory for NDSU. A 21-point beatdown of the Jackrabbits. Said it in the point before, they play well against good opponents. SDSU is a good opponent. There's a lot riding on this game, not only with the Dakota Marker, but like I said before, the Missouri Valley Football Conference, at least a clinch of the regular season title. So to me, NDSU is going to come in, they're going to be focused, they're going to dominate this game, a 31-10 victory. Doesn't mean that SDSU will be out of the playoff race after this loss, but it'll be very tough for the Jackrabbits to get in with an at-large bid. Final note I want to make is make sure and tune into 740 The Fan today, or 740thefan.com, because I will be in Grand Forks, North Dakota, along with Jack Michaels, the sports director here at KFGO, Tank McNamara, and Chase Miller. We'll be calling all the Dakota Bowl games, the North Dakota High School State Championships. Start out with the Class A game at 9 o'clock, follow that up with the 9-man. The 2A will be at 3 o'clock. That'll be a rematch of last year, and then the AAA game at 6:30 after that. So make sure to tune in to 740 and 740thefan.com. Starting at 8:40 in the morning, we'll be going all day, and you can hear high school, North Dakota High School State Championship action right there. For KFGO.com, I'm Daniel Gunderson.